Let's talk about eBay dropshipping. The thing is, if you are on eBay, you face a lot of competition from the get-go, right? You can't really get around it. You gotta have a strategy. So in today's conversation, I really want to share with you 10 categories that sell best on eBay all the time. See, the thing is, sometimes on YouTube and on social media in general, people talk to you about what's selling on eBay right now in this month, in January, in February, in March, April, whatever. Based on our research for the last 20 years, we have identified 10 categories that sell best on eBay no matter what. So you're talking about the categories that are not actually seasonal, so you can actually make money all the time. Those are safe, quote unquote, safe categories. So the first one is art drawings. So although AI is now a dominant source of art nowadays, real art still has its place in the marketplace. So AI art is also a bestseller, provided that you create something amazing with it. Okay. So when we talk about art drawings, we're talking about many types of art drawings you can sell on eBay, and so either selling or drop shipping, not a problem at all. So you have things like nude arts, for instance. You have colored pencil drawings. You have charcoal drawings. You have pastel drawings. So you have a lot. You have a constellation of art drawings that you can sell. You can actually make money from eBay. Okay. And so the thing is that you got to really make sure that you are offering something of value, something that is original. Okay, so that's the first category, art drawings. Second category here, you have baby feeding items. Anything that revolves around baby feeding, you are going to actually make money on eBay. Again, what I'm telling you here has nothing to do with seasonality. People, like humans, will always procreate. And that's how we actually can extend this race. So basically, baby feeding items are always going to be in demand on eBay. So you have things like breast pumps, baby bottles, feeding sets. You have food catcher, high chair, food bibs. So those are really always popular. Okay, but the thing is that when we talk about what sells on eBay, you got to really position yourself in a niche that is really lucrative. And baby feeding items is a lucrative niche. Boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. The third category of items that are always bestsellers on eBay when it comes to dropshipping or even regular selling is women's clothing. Okay, and the thing is that of all the clothing categories on eBay, women's clothing is the dominant niche, and it's one of those things where it's not seasonal. Women are buying nice clothes all the time. They have a need to buy wonderful clothes all the time, and we love that. As dropshippers, we love that because it is an opportunity. Okay, and so we're talking about things that revolve around tunic, for instance, stilettos. You have rubber shoes, yoga pants, jeans, formal wear, sunglasses, knitted shirts, and t-shirts. So it really depends on the kind of niche you're actually focused on rather. And it's also important to understand that when you actually do research around what sells on the eBay and you identify the category, you want to go a little granular. You want to look at the subcategory. So for instance, if you go with yoga, like yoga, I would say yoga apparel, for instance, you can think about yoga pants, yoga mats, yoga shoes, yoga tops. So you can actually go granular on a specific niche or sub niche. The fourth category of items that sells on eBay all the time is collectible comics. Okay, collectibles will always have a market provided that your offers are not easily available online. And so to be able to do this, you must be the first to buy limited edition comic books. Once the sale is over, you can sell your items at a higher price than what you bought it for. But then there is no larger dropshipping. There's no longer dropshipping, right? But now the thing here is that you are able to do things in a certain way. But the thing is that you got to really identify again a specific target. For instance, let's say you want to focus on DC and Marvel comic book sellers. So you got to really identify a niche in that department, if you will, and really sort of work. You need to work that niche as soon as possible. You got to think about timing, when those books are available, when the sales are available, because some of those sales are limited edition, limited timing sales. You want to act fast. Also, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about what sells best on eBay all the time. Next thing I want you to think about is sewing crafts. So when we talk about, you have a lot of folks who are interested in sewing, and so sewing crafts cover a wide variety of niches. So you have knitting, for instance, crochet, you have cross-stitch images, you have beds jewelry, and you have mosaic. You do have a lot of opportunities here, but the thing is, you gotta have a little knowledge about the industry. Okay, it's one of those things where you can't just get in the industry and really find what's really working. You got to have a preliminary knowledge of the trends in the industry. Then you can really do some proper research. And the research I'm talking about here, you can limit that research to AliExpress. AliExpress, you don't have to actually spend a lot of time. You can do AliExpress and Google Trends and see what's really happening. That you can go to AliExpress and validate the popularity of those items that you have found on AliExpress. You can validate that popularity through Google Trends. Okay. And we have an entire show that will talk about how to set up Google Trends, so you know exactly what's happening where and when. So this is kind of cool. And another thing I want you to really think of is dolls. Dolls. There are many types of dolls that sell well on eBay, and so the leading ones are dollhouse miniatures. You have teddy bears. You have bear making supplies, and you have paper dolls. The thing is that when we talk about dolls, we're talking about a large niche. A lot of folks believe that, when we talk about dolls, right, people think children. No, you have adults who also love dolls. I mean, basically people buy teddy bears, people sleep with teddy bears, people actually find comfort and solace with teddy bears. It's actually a teddy bears, for instance, have a symbolic nature to them. Okay, so you have a larger market, not just kids. And what you want to do is you can also actually extend your market a little bit by actually doing what we call secondary or tertiary research and sell in that department. Let me give you an example. If you choose dolls, for instance, you can also think about doll related items such as dolls shoes, doll clothes, doll houses. So you have a lot of ways to actually go granular here. And again, you can even go vertical or horizontal. So if you want to go vertical or horizontal, you can go with antique, vintage, collector's items, wax dolls, wooden dolls, play dolls, utility dolls. So you have possibilities here. Fantastic. The next way you can actually make money on eBay is actually target vitamins and dietary supplements. You need to understand, when we talk about vitamins, we're speaking about the health and beauty niche. The question is, which niche is it really? Is it beauty or health? It really depends. Depends on your target audience. Some people will look at vitamins as like vitamins and dietary supplements as beauty products. Some will be thinking of it as a category to put into health. On eBay, the sell-through rate of vitamins is only 14.66%. However, the success rate is 96 to 98%. So it is a good product to sell because people who buy vitamins will become repeat buyers, which is important. You want to have that sort of repeat aspect in your operations. It is cheaper to get repeat buyers than to acquire new customers, right? You can also sell food supplements and not limit yourself to vitamins. And your success now depends on the kind of marketing you do. At best, you must have demonstrations of what your product can do for the consumer. And this is kind of important. And one thing worth mentioning here is marketing. So Facebook, Instagram, and many other platforms are too strict when it comes to ad copy. For example, you should not make unbacked claims about your products. What does this mean? Well, do not say your food supplement will make a person healthier. Do not make any therapeutic claims about the product, or Facebook will shut down your ads and even ban your ad account. And you do not want to go. You do not want to go there. Okay. Second, do not make it appear that one trait is bad. For example, do not attack black skin saying that white skin is better. it is racist, and it is never right to make claims about beauty and health standards when there is nothing wrong with it in the first place. So the thing here is that when you think about selling on eBay, anything relating to health and let's say like health and sports and anything, you want to focus on the let's say the traits of the product itself. You want to really focus on the facts when advertising your food, supplements, and vitamins. Limit your statements to what everybody already knows. Focus on facts. For example, it's all right to say that each capsule of your products contains 75 milligrams of vitamins, right? This is something that is demonstrable, something that's provable, okay? And also you want to actually, so when it comes to think about dropshipping vitamins, think about having a subscription model. You can sell subscriptions at a lower rate. It means that the buyer will get 3 bottles and you will ship each bottle every month. The alternative to this is to sell the vitamins in bundles. That way you create some kind of volume, which you need anyway to succeed. Well, so I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about what sells best on eBay right now. Also, another category that really always sells on eBay is watches. So, the thing is that when we talk about watches, people automatically think about, well, you need to think about luxury watches to make money. No. Most people want to wear a watch, but will never splurge a huge sum of money for it. Okay, so it's one of those things where you really have to think deep here. On eBay, watch and watch accessories are some of the best sellers. Surprisingly, the sell-through rate is low, and it's one of those things where it's a very competitive niche, but you could really carve out a profitable niche for yourself. And so the thing is that you are basically when it comes to watches, though, you got to think about the suppliers. So where are you getting your watches from? And because not only do you have to worry about the price, but also you have to think about counterfeiting. So intellectual property, right? So IP issues are a biggie when it comes to watches, because all the big brands, all the big luxury brands, they care about their products. So they actually are very adamant in making sure that IP rules are enforced. So you got to really be careful here in when it comes to sourcing their products, making sure that your supplier is really reliable. One thing I want to say about the watches here is that you got to really, the best way to make money when it comes to watches is to choose your target audience. And you can say, you know what, I'm going after males ages 18 to 25, or I'm going after males or female, I'm going after females ages 35 to 42. That way you can actually carve out a specific niche whereby you can just focus your marketing, you can focus your advertising, you can focus your sales strategy, and really sort of work out that niche and make money. But if you just go after the bigger market of the watch market, you're not going to survive because you have a lot of competition in the first place, right? Because see, if you're new, or if you're an existing dropshipper, you still need to actually make a name for yourself in a very crowded environment already. Another way to actually make money on eBay is actually get into dog supplies. People say, well, dog supplies actually is very competitive. It is competitive, it is crowded, but there's always room for profit making. Dog supplies will always be a bestseller because the pet market is getting bigger annually. So you must get in now. You must get in now, make the most out of it. There are so many things you can sell in the dog supply niche. Let me give you a few examples. You have a leash, you have a nail clipper, you have brush, you have food bowls, you have harness, you have toys. So you have a lot of things. The thing is that, and you have, Americans are actually expanding their families every year by having one, and in some cases you have more than one dog. Okay, so it's one of those things where you have to really understand the psychology of a pet owner, especially a dog owner. Understand the psychology of dogs who are potentially your ultimate let's say customers, and really provide the kind of products and services that those dogs will actually appreciate. Okay, and it's one of those things where you have to really you have to do a little bit of study to really know what's really happening here. The thing here is that you want to actually diversify. So to make money actually with the dog niche, the dog product niche in the long run, you got to diversify. What I'm trying to say is if you're selling only leashes and brushes, you're not going to survive that long, because very soon you will actually be dealing with a lot of competitors who are maybe selling better and cheaper products than yours. But if you have, let's say, a large area of products, let's say 10 products, 20 products, then you're not putting all your eggs in the same proverbial baskets. So you are expanding your operations, and you are expanding your chances of actually getting the best of eBay when it comes to the dog supplies category. It's one of those things where you gotta constantly diversify. And one thing I want to say here is that diversification is number one. The second thing is you need to have timed marketing campaigns. So maybe around the holidays, for instance, or around I don't know, in January and February and March. Like, you got to really think about specific timing when it comes to advertising, so that you can actually optimize your marketing strategy. Another way to make money, another product niche to make where you can actually make money on eBay is hunting goods. So we're talking about hunting. So hunting goods actually are really great because you have a large audience already. People are really receptive to the whole hunting thing. Okay, we're not talking about weapons here. We're talking about hunting. Okay, and it's one of those things where you have to understand that it is a common hobby for a lot of countries, especially in the United States. And so there are many branches of hunting that you can focus on. So here are some examples. You have tools, gears, clothing, knives, lamps, tents. Okay, now the hunting niche is huge, like women's clothing. It will be best if you chose a few sub niches so you can concentrate on a specific market. For example, you can focus on tents only. Now, I'm not saying this is actually the way to go. Actually, you can say, you know what, going back to what I said earlier about not putting all your eggs in the same basket, you can say, I don't want to focus on only 2 or 3. I want to go with all the 10, or I want to go with 7 or 15, whatever. But you just need to understand, you need to start somewhere. So if you really want to succeed when it comes to let's say the best product niches on the eBay, you got to have a strategy, and that strategy has to start with you starting with one or two. At least at the beginning, you start with 1 or 2, and then as you become more comfortable, as you become more as you understand how the market is rolling, then you can actually expand. Okay, and that's going to help you also actually establish yourself as a solid dropshipper. And sometimes, everything I'm telling you here, don't forget that you can also automate your eBay dropshipping. You don't have to do things manually yourself. You can actually sort of outsource the whole thing to a third-party platform that will actually do things for you. For instance, you can try Dropship.io or AutoDS. You have a lot of players out there that can really help you. You also have you have Deezers, you have Spocket, you have Doba, you have Zendrop. You have a lot of players out there that can do the work for you. So you are able to know exactly that you like what kind of marketing operation you need to have to make sales continuously on eBay. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about what sells best on eBay. So just want to quickly remind you of the 10 categories. You have art drawings, baby fitting items, women's clothing, collectible comics. So you have sewing crafts. You have dolls, vitamins and dietary supplements. You have watches, dog supplies, hunting goods. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.